Oh, wait a minute. Sex. What's going on with sex?
Oh no. Do we have
Oh
to?
gosh. No, no.
No, what?
Ignore the spectacle. We don't need the bread and circuses.
But you know what? It somebody's got to do something because these other things are boring. Let's talk about sex. What's going on in the world in the area of sex?
Whatever
Yeah,
happened to the
there's a
pillory?
certain obsession there.
If you want a spectacle, the
yeah.
pillory would be much better.
Well, hey, we could still go down the gladiatorial route still.
Those not those type of spectacles.
I'm just saying we could go down.
Not those.
Yeah, Tacticus. I I don't know that that'll help.
That brings to mind the thing we used to talk about in college: beer goggles.
Yep.
So, what is a spectacle,
Well,
guys?
I would call the gladiatorial games a spectacle.
So, like bread and circuses, all the sports games, massive. Everybody wastes their whole. I mean, look, I like watching football. I can't say I'm immune to this, but where you run your life around the next spectacle to the next spectacle to the next spectacle, where you live through entertainment versus having a life yourself.
Okay, but what really is a spectacle, though? Really, I think we actually did a video on this a while back. It starts with a D.
Distraction.
Ah, yes. Spectacles are distractions. Whenever I see something getting popular, becoming the topic of the day, I always go, my first reaction anymore is to look around and go, what else is going on? What am I not seeing? And I don't necessarily assume that it's they're trying to hide something from me. It's just the world's all looking at this thing, so what else is the world not looking at?
Well, NASDAQ made a new high today. Is that what
Indeed
they don't
it
want
did.
us to see?
Generally, that's considered a good thing. That's considered a spectacle. Although I think, based on what I've seen out of prior years during trading, Christmas time not really a good time for market spectacle stuff. People are focused on other stuff. Oh, Tacticus, we're going to get into that one too.
You had to go there.
We're going to get into that one too. The sex one just came up chronologically first, I think. The
drones thing is also related to UFOs. And there's been a cycle of UFO speculations.
All right, Tacticus.
I'm not talking about it. They just come up about every 6 months. It seems like there's serious fringe talk about UFOs.
Oh, I'm the pilot. Oh God.
I don't want to debate whether it's true or not. I'm just pointing out that it comes up about every 6 months.
Well, it didn't used to. What and there's a lot of reasons it didn't used to. And this actually, I mean, if you want to go back to the topic of spectacle and distraction, the human brain is psychologically slow to catch up to changes in its reality. So a couple months ago, one of the astronauts on the ISS posted this really cool video, and it was the ISS was coming up to the daytime terminator, so it was going from night to day, and you could see these fireflies racing across the screen, but they always went at the same direction and the same speed. And of course, the ISS guys know exactly what that is. Those are Starlink satellites. They see this phenomenon at twice, at once every hour and a half. So, for them, it's no big deal. But for people on the ground, if you see a video of drones that are of UFOs that are moving very fast in a straight line in the night sky, well, when was that video taken is the question you need to know. Because if it was taken in near the daytime terminator, so in early morning, then you've got sunlight. The Starlink satellites have some anti-reflective coatings for certain portions, but they're not completely anti-reflective. So, and they're much higher up, so they're catching the sun about 2 to 3 hours earlier than you are, because of their altitude. So you see this little firefly streak across the sky. If another one as a pilot, Steve, UFO sightings have gone up every year, particularly every year we come out with a new quieter jet engine. And
Well, that's because the aliens are down here and giving us that new technology.
oh,
So the
okay.
more active they get in our life, the more they give us
The
this new
global conspiracy,
technology
like the flat
which
Earth,
allows
right?
us. So it's
Yes.
probably not a causation; it's just a correlation.
Oh, right. What's actually happening in reality is that because of your NIMBYs who can't stand jet noises, the engine designers have gotten really good at shoo. An orderly line of 22, which is the Starlink group, very high flying green. Green is not an uncommon color. That's a light shifting color. And go all yep. That is a Starlink train. So what's happened with the airline engines is they put out about 1/3 the noise of an old JT8D on a 727. And what that means
I
is
don't know
that
what that is, but I'm sure you do.
well, it's also, it's first 727, first gen 737, old planes from the 1960s. Very loud, very, very loud. You could hear them from the ground, even at their cruising altitude. Well, with modern jet engines, you can't hear them from the ground anymore. And when they're coming into land, we roll the engines back to 10, 20% power. They're basically idling, or almost, because you're just using gravity and lift. So even 10,000 feet off the ground coming in on final approach, you won't hear the plane, but you'll see its lights. So if you see a triangle of lights, red, green, white, and it's moving the wrong and it's moving the wrong way, the triangle, the point of the triangle is pointing in the opposite direction. Yeah, that's just an airplane, guys.
So
Well, these aren't even
I'm sure you
intended to be
remember.
spectacles. The
Exactly.
people make them.
Exactly. Thank you, Nick. These are boring everyday occurrences that your brain hasn't caught up to. It used to be you knew it was a jet because it was loud and you could hear them everywhere. Now, at night particularly, you can't hear them. And so your brain says, "Oh, I don't know what that is." Actually, you do know what that is. So somebody was actually getting concerned about over in Newark. They posted a picture of the triangle of lights, but you could just make out the 737 body. And it was a Twitter guy. And he said, "I hope people knock it off with the UFO stuff because somebody's gonna start shooting at a 737 on approach." And that actually has happened recently to a Spirit A320. So,
Oh gosh.
yeah, no, like this is, but this is the problem of the spectacle is eventually people get caught up in it and then they start doing stupid shit.
People don't have lost a moral compass too, so
That's
lost sense of of reality. It's like they're in. It's like what was it? The cargo cult. It's
Yeah.
like they're cargo culted.
well, it's Yuri Bezmenov and his demoralization. I think is a key. He's talking about morality, not more like unit morale. But what he really is trying, it's an imprecise word for what he's trying to get at, which is convincing people to reject the reality of their own eyes and ears and to hear instead what the narrative machine has to say. And
Yeah.
To my what I can see is the narrative machine spins on, and it's not a political thing. I mean, open up Twitter right now and you'll get just deluged by drone videos and bad takes on Lily Phillips.
And flat Earth.
Yeah, there was a resurgence in the flat Earth thing a little bit right after we did our stream.
Were they mad at us?
I don't
I
know.
don't care.
I don't know. It just we talked about it, and then all of a sudden there was just a blip about flat Earth stuff, and I think that's Lily Phillips is a lot more interesting to talk about than flat Earth.
So I'd rather talk about flat Earth.